In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a case study from a trade I took early in January with my community, showing you how I found, managed, and exited that trade. When you finish this video, head over to the link in the description. You can join my free 13-part video series, which is a course showing you why you're not winning and how you can turn your results around. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I will be breaking down a trade from early in January. The reason I'm doing this and not case studying a recent trade is because I'm just about to case study around 14 trades for my community. All of the trades through January that I haven't case studied so far, and all of February's trades as well. I'm making detailed breakdown videos of all of them, and I decided to kick it off. I will actually make this one public and share it with you all over here on YouTube. So let's dive into the action. The trade that I'll be case studying today is a early London session trade, which was executed on the 4th of January. This whole trade was formulated and executed and managed on the 5-minute time frame using 5-minute levels, 5-minute confirmations, and 5-minute entries. It was a very simplistic trade from my early morning trading strategy, which I generally use to clear out the liquidity either side of the Asia range. It's a consistent process that happens very often on EURUSD and GBP/USD and also EUR/GBP as well. I'm sure it works on other pairs too, but these are the ones that I know it on. And basically what I look to do in these positions is when the Asia session main phase closes, which is around 7 a.m. UK time here, I mark out the highs and lows of the range, and then I actually look to trade price through from the low to the high or through from the high to the low, depending on which way the market is pointing and depending on where I get the confirmations. So for this trade, what I would do is first of all mark out the high of the Asia range, and then I'm going to mark out the low. Now the low actually came in around this point at 7 a.m. So from here onwards, what I'll be looking for is actually a push back up into the range to prove to me that this is actually a sweep for liquidity and not a total breakdown. You can see over here, this is where I actually shared the position. Now this is a 1-minute time frame chart. Unfortunately, I can't show you that in this video because I can't scale that low without TradingView kicking me back to current prices. But this is the setup given. We were looking for some breaks above this structure here to then continue the trend upwards and buy into this. So what we wanted to see was now the low had been taken, we were going to look for the longs up into that point and then buy through to the highs of the day. So what we would look for now that the Asia low has been taken out is a pushback into the range. And what we would want to see are some significant breaks. So we have these areas here, which could be our first significant breaks. And our major area is going to be this one here. So if price could push over these levels, and hopefully even push over that higher level as well, that is where I would then begin looking for executions and looking for a good place to put an entry. So allowing the market to play out, we saw it did push down a little bit lower and carry out a full sweep of the lows, and then it impulsed to the upside. Now this impulse is very, very good to see, because what this shows me is that the strength has actually come back into the market and the buyers are regaining control over the pricing. So this large impulse actually broke through those smaller structure points as well as the larger 5-minute structure point here. And what that did was open the doors to targeting the high of the Asia session. Now, one thing I did notice at this point was we had this area here of equal highs, right? We had this area where the market continually attempted to push that roof. Then we had a sweep of liquidity and then the market sold off. So this to me, being heavily imbalanced as well, showed a clear supply zone. I then scaled a little bit back further to look over here, and we can see this supply zone here, which is the last indecision candle before the sell-off, actually was retested by this previous candle. So I was thinking here, right, we have efficiency there, but we have inefficiency into here. So what I actually did was cut my trade targets down from the high of the Asia session to the middle of this zone here. If we then grab our tool, we can grab this and pull this across from here to over here. This is the large indecision candle before the market took off. Now, it has been lightly tapped on the outside of the range there, but the full zone has not actually been fully retested yet. So I focused on this 5-minute area for my entry. Now, there was actually a refined 1-minute example. Once again, I can't show you that right now because the trades won't let me go back that far. But there was a refined entry that could have been taken, which would have improved my risk reward from what I got to actually over double. But this is the zone I went for in reality, so that is the one I'm going to show you. And what I actually did here was place my entry on, and I put my stop below around 4.5 pips, and then I targeted into the middle of that range for a 4R target. And that means if I get triggered in, I'll be making 4 times whatever I'm risking if it wins, and if it loses, I'll just be losing 1 standard risk multiple. So then leaving the market to continue into its flow, we saw a nice bit of consolidation, which is good for me because that shows me that the momentum to the downside is not too strong. But then we did get a rapid push down over 10 minutes, which triggered us in, pushed into the low, which, remember I just mentioned that refined zone would have been a very good place to enter, and then actually started impulsing to the upside and fulfilled the target in around 20 minutes. So that was the trade that I took on the 4th of January, a very successful little sweep trade. And I think from this point, we may have gained a reversal. So it was good that I hopped out there. The market did not actually manage to fulfill the high. And that's why it's important to be very dynamic with your setups, right? If you are going for a standard target, a standard systematic target, but then you see there is obviously imbalanced supply, but previous to that, there is efficient supply, which has been retested. You may want to focus on that imbalanced area, considering that, okay, maybe the market will not gain the strength to go this high. Maybe it just wants to fill this inefficient area before then reselling off to the downside. But that was the trade I took. You can see very simplistic approach. This is the kind of approach I use in the morning for the Asia or London session open. And this is the kind of setups that I share with my community pretty much every single day when one of these arises. Now, they're not an everyday trade. Some days there are none. Some weeks they don't even come around frequently. When they do come around, they're high probability, high risk reward, and they provide us a very, very simple way to get into the markets. And that is how I did it. Here you can see in the community the trade after the fact when it was all done and dusted. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found some beneficial pointers. Just what I wanted to highlight from this was how well systematic trading can work if you build a step-by-step system and carry out that process. Now, I'm going to be sharing many case studies in my community through the wins and the losses we took through January and also so far in February. Obviously, case studying positions lets people see the realism of trading and see the good and the bad, the lessons we can learn from our losses and mistakes, and the lessons we can learn from the winning positions as well. If you do want to get access to all of those case studies as they roll out, as well as continued case studies, my entire trading strategy, and the ability to trade with me every single day, head over to the link in the description and you'll be able to join my trading academy over there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it beneficial, and I will see you in the next one.